G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's your boy Blinded by the Sunshine, Sergeant Wombat, mate. How's it going? I tell ya, the sunshine really does bring out like the absolute creative moment in the brain, because I am loving all this weather. I've done this is my 4th video of the day. It's fantastic. I'm loving it. And guess what? Today's little topic, mate, because obviously they're not all going out on the same day, but today's video topic is a fantastic little one, and it's for all of us that have nothing to can't swear anymore, and have nothing to hide, mate. We got nothing to overcompensate for, because we ain't scared of no old man on a Harley saying, ride a real bike with a real engine that's over 1.5 liters and makes no power but torque, baby. I'm talking about us small engine lovers. I'm talking our sub 500cc machines. Your RC 390s, your Duke 390s. You got your Rebel 500s. You got your CB 500s, CBR 500s. Yeah, we don't talk about that one that much. Ninja 400s, the Naked Z400, I think they make. Mate, I'm talking about all of those tiny boys. And how could we forget not just the R3, but that glorious, I was going to say either one, but I stuffed that up, who cares, R15M. That bike has no right looking as sexy as it does, because I tell you, when I saw it in person, I was like, this is really nice. The R7 and R3 should look like this, not the R15. That's ridiculous. Either way, I digress. Boys, girls, it's nice to have a bike. Doesn't matter what you're riding, as long as you got something with 2 wheels and an engine. People with a little 150 can keep up with the big boys in the twisties, alright? Jason has a little 250cc CBR 250 MC19. Things got no power. Light, fun, enjoyable. Small bikes, most times, unless they're made terribly, are toys compared to the big boy bikes. Like, my bike is 192 kilos, okay? That's like not too ridiculous a bike. That's pretty standard weight. But there are some smaller engine bikes that weigh like 170 kilos, 160 kilos. And when you sit on a bike that weighs that little, it doesn't sound like a huge difference initially. But once you do it, dude, it feels like you're jumping on a toy. It's great. I would highly recommend to anybody, if you have the means to ride a smaller bike, you should do it more often. Because smaller bikes may not hit your top speeds of your straight line squiddy boys that want to just go fast, and that's a completely understandable argument. They are slow, okay? I'm not here to argue about the speed. They're slow bikes. It's objective, okay? Most 400cc bikes or that around can hit about 180, 200 clicks in kilometers an hour. So it's about 120 miles-ish, okay, on the average. That's fast enough, dude. You're not really in situations where you're gonna be gunning it if you legalize things, okay? Now, illegal riding, that's different. You probably don't want to go for high-speed runs on a Ninja 400, especially if you're trying to outrun some policemen. Not that I'm advocating for such behavior, but I'm telling you right now, you're probably not gonna go as well as you'd think. Obviously, running away on smaller engine bike is doable, but it's just easier on a bigger engine, okay? Now, small bikes have always had a place in society because obviously great commuting, great petrol. They don't chug fuel like some of your big engine bikes. Now, obviously, your V-twins, they seem to be pretty fuel efficient, your large boy ones, because they don't rev very high and whatnot. But I'm talking your small little twin parallels, inline fours, single cylinders. Mate, they bloody got plenty of oomph for riding and enjoyments. They got plenty of power, plenty of horsepower for twisties, mate. You don't need more than 50 horsepower in the twisties, realistically. Like, if it's a real twisty place, mate, you look at King Lake in Victoria, you don't need, you can get away with bloody 30 horsepower there, dude. It's fine. That area's twisty as hell. In fact, a lighter bike would probably be way more fun there, because you get to at least ring it out. So the R15M, you'd be fanging around King Lake, and you'd be at least feeling fast. And that's where the enjoyment comes from. It's not about being fast sometimes, it's about enjoying. And having a small bike that's slow is always going to feel faster in a twisty environment than a bigger bike does. So you take this, you have an R1 or an S1000. You won't even be in the bloody power band half the time in that area. Look at that little thing. Little CBR. Speaking of, you won't even be in the power band of those bikes in the twisties because it's so high up in the rev range. And by the time you finally get in the main power band, it's either 80 clicks or you're already above the speed limit anyway. So, hey, this person's very slow. Sometimes it is nice to just enjoy the speed at a lower rate, because I'm telling you, when you're redlining a bike in 4th gear and you're doing like 80 k's, it doesn't feel as bad. Maybe not 80 k's, maybe 3rd gear at 80 k's, or in, like some of the bikes, 2nd gear, you'll be redlining around there. Point being is, at least you can get out of the 1st gear. Sports bikes, you don't really get out of 1st gear in those positions because they're just, oh mate, they're not made for it. They're not made for it. They're made for track use, and you know it. That's why they're race bikes. It doesn't matter though, you can't tell a squid these things. They will never hear it, mate. Never! But I'm telling you, you will have a blast on our small bikes. Small bikers rejoice down in the comment section down below. I know you will enjoy it. Smaller bikes for the win. Would I like a faster bike? Absolutely. But is there anything wrong with small ones? No, and I'll be caught dead before I say there is. I obviously think my bike's slow because I've gotten over it right now, but it's still something phenomenal. In fact, it's great for commuting because it's comfortable for commuting. Plenty of oomph for commuting. It's small and thin. You know what's not small and thin? Big engine bikes. They're wide. Look at the old R60. That's a chunky boy. She's thick, boy. My bike is so narrow compared to some of those things. And dude, if I put like smaller handlebars on this thing, I swear I can get away with like way more sketchy lane splitting situations. It's absolutely absurd how good small bikes are for commuting. It's almost like they were designed for commuting, and the fact that no one uses them or bitches about them instead, it's a damn shame, because it tells you there be a lots of goodness that you can enjoy with this here small bike. Usually it's called ringing out the bike and actually listening to that thing purr, because, well, it's not illegal to ring out a bike like a Rebel 500 because it only hits like 60 k's in 1st gear. So you're in 6th gear most times if you're just comfortably cruising up to 100, which is crazy, dude. When most sports bikes, I'm talking leader bikes, not 600s, will hit this bike's top speed in 1st gear, which is absolutely bananas, dude. You know how crazy that is to think about? I've hit 178 on this bike legally, and I'm telling you, to have another bike do that in 1st gear essentially is just ridiculous to think about, because that's just nuts. So I was just here to put some respect on the small engine bike's name. I hope everyone gets to enjoy such things, especially if you're in Australia. You have to sort of enjoy it. So pick a bike you will enjoy for 3 years, especially in Victoria with the land restrictions, because there's nothing wrong with a small engine bike. In fact, some of the best fun you can have on a bike will be on a small engine bike. And you always go, but wouldn't you prefer a bigger engine bike? Of course I would. But does that detract from the enjoyment I can have with this one? No. I have enjoyed this bike thoroughly. I have enjoyed Jason's multiple bikes thoroughly. I am telling you every time that the small engine capacity bikes are nothing to sneeze at. They're actually great fun. And that's my take. I want you to sort of also interpret your own way. Mate, it's subjective, it's not subjective. What I say is gospel, okay? Bloody hell. Buy a small bike, unless you have a big bike. In that case, don't worry about it. But I'm telling you, mate, if you have to buy a first bike, I'm just bloody buy a small one. And if you say you'll outgrow it in speed, you're probably only pulling on the freeway anyway. Go do a twisty and send it until you're comfortable fanging it there, the knee down there. Ah yes, go wide without looking first. Thank you, darling. But until that day comes, I hope you all enjoy. Take it easy. In fact, as always, keep it cheesy. And as always, have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.